Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, or welcome back if you've been here before. My name is Liz and this is Let's Get Lizical, where we do everything card making. Today I'm just going to start off showing you what I did for these honeybee die sets that I recently got. The Lovely Layer sets, any of their sets I don't think come with images on them to show you how they look put together. They do have those images on their website, which is where I got them from. I ended up printing them out on sticker paper and just attaching them to the back of the poly bag. You could also try printing them on printer paper or like photo paper, like if you have like little 4x6s that your printer could print. That would work as well, and then you can insert them in with the packaging. I wish it just came with the packaging, similar to what Spellbinders does with their packaging, but that's not how Honeybee does it, so that's how I did my workaround. I printed the finished images on sticker paper and attached them to the back, so I now have access to what it should look like when it's done. But anyway, let's get to today's card, and today we're working on our Get Creeping on Halloween submission for Inky and Scrappy's monthly challenge. At the last day of every month, it doesn't matter if it's like the 28th in February, the 30th, or the 31st of the other month, the challenge is to create a Halloween card on that day, and today I am doing a little like pumpkin themed card, which are like my favorite cards to make. I love little pumpkins, they're so adorable. But I'm not doing it necessarily like a spooky Halloween card. I like to do cutesy ones here and there. You guys know that if you've been here for a while. But anyway, I do this challenge from January to October, usually because after October I switch over to full-on Christmas mode. So yeah, I do it for 10 months, but Jamie does it for the whole year. So that's hashtag Get Creeping on Halloween, and then make sure you tag Jamie at Inky and Scrappy, which is just Inky and Scrappy, over on Instagram, Facebook, whatnot, so she can see what you made too. And today I'm using dies and stamps from Hello Bluebird. These are no longer available, so I'll try to find something similar. If I can't, maybe this is something I can work on for the summer when I do my Halloween release, which I just thought about. I thought that would be a good idea. Maybe I could do a slightly bigger set. These pumpkins are pretty tiny. Even like the little tiny ones you can see there, they're like about just over half an inch in size. These were ones that I had previously cut the last time I used this die, and the faces again used last time I cut this die, and I just washi taped them kind of in place so that I could use them at a later date. And today I ended up separating the dies. Originally I was going to leave them all together, and then I would just cut a full section of black or orange or whatever, and then I decided that I would cut the faces away from the pumpkins, because like the pumpkins and stems are mostly together, and then all the faces are mostly together. There's one area where the face and the pumpkin kind of like switched places because that's the way it fit within the die cut space, because these are all attached. And so I just separated those. So instead of having 25 separate dies, I have 5 separate dies. So I'll always cut out all the faces at one time, and if I just want to cut out one, I'll just put like a little piece of cardstock over that section, but I'll still put the full die through and do it that way. I just think it's easier. I don't want to have to cut all of these little tiny dies apart. They'll get lost. We all know I had that one die that sat on my desk forever. I didn't even know what it went to until recently. So I don't want that to happen again. Obviously, I'd probably know what this came with, but it's just better to keep them together. And then I cut them all out at once. Like the white pumpkins, I can cut those all out and color them. I can cut out a whole set of orange ones and ink blend them to give a little bit more dimension. I like these black ones. This one here, I was too lazy to get up and get my black cardstock, so I'm just using it as a template, and I use it to cut out the faces. Also, this part of the video is left in just because I want to show you that not everything works out as planned. Originally I had planned that I wanted to do like this buffalo check pumpkin, I wanted to do patterns and stuff, but it didn't really work out the way I wanted it to. I think maybe because of the placement of the print in the background and the orientation. I probably should have done it on the bias so that the lines were kind of, you know, crisscrossing on a diagonal instead of up and down. And I probably should have either maybe put a layer of vellum over it just to tone it down a bit, or done something just to, again, tone down the print, because the black face I put on it is just kind of like blending in, and it's hitting those in between areas where like there's a full-on orange square but it's covered up by the eyes or the mouth or whatever. And I think it would just have worked better, maybe even if I tried it in like a yellow or something to make it look like it was glowing. But this is what I had originally envisioned, and it just didn't turn out, which is fine. It does look kind of cute still, but it's just harder to read because of all the pattern in the background. I might try pattern pumpkins again at a later date, because I have seen different stamp sets with patterned pumpkins, and different card makers do different patterns on pumpkins before, and I thought that that would be like a fun idea. So maybe at a later date I'll try with different patterns. Maybe I can use different either pattern papers, or try to like make my own, like put some polka dots on them with some markers, or use a stencil or something. We'll see. We'll get to it eventually. There's still lots of time for Halloween cards. So for now, I'm just working on my arrangement. I wanted a darker orange pumpkin in the background just because I didn't want a bunch of different pumpkins in the same color. Originally, I was only going to do 2 on the card, but these ones, again, like I said, are a bit smaller than I was thinking they were originally. I could have used my, I think it's stitched pumpkins from Lawn Fawn. The die set comes with 3 pumpkins and 3 different stems, but they're bigger and they have a bit of stitching detail on them, which is fun. But maybe that would have executed my vision a little bit better. And maybe we can revisit this idea maybe in October. I'll see if I can remake it with different supplies and see how that goes. That would maybe be fun to see, you know, progress from one card to another. I've done videos like that in the past where I've remade some of my old cards, and I like doing it. It's actually like really fun. And you can just see how you've progressed and just, you know, make a few changes here and there. Like, as I say, every time I watch these videos, I'm always like, oh, I should have done this, I should have done that. But then it just gives you ideas for the next card, you know? And again, this is made out of paper, so if you don't love it, you can just recycle it and start over. I'm like not hating this card. I don't love the end result, but I don't hate it. So I will keep it, and I will give it to somebody for sure. I have so many Halloween cards right now because I keep forgetting to give them out every year. So this is, I think, my 3rd year doing Halloween cards. So by the time Halloween comes around, I'll have a lot to give out. So I might even just start handing them out to random people just to get rid of them. And so I can make new ones next year. But anyway, back to the card. I'm just putting like the face on the pumpkin. I just decided to use a different face for this one. This one's pretty cutesy compared to the more like spooky one I was using earlier. I just didn't want to have to cut it out again. So I just used a different face. And it's adorable. And I'm struggling with my glue situation here as well because my new bottles aren't in yet. As we speak, Amazon will be delivering it very soon, but I still have these shitty bottles that I bought, and I'm just having to deal with it in the meantime. But again, I like the cuteness of this card, but I'm not loving it. This is not what I had envisioned. So again, it's okay if things don't go completely as planned. They hardly ever do, right? Like, we always have to make up something as we go or change something, and that's okay. It's perfectly fine. And you know what? Sometimes you come out with a better card than what you had thought, and then other times it's subpar, but that's also, you know, just your opinion of the card. Like, I know I've made some like not so great cards in the past, and people are like, oh my god, I love this, and it's like, wait, what do you love about it? Because it's like, this is wrong. But like, to other people who don't make cards, they just are like impressed that you're able to do that, right? Like, they're not thinking, oh, this is like a terrible layout or anything. They're like thinking, wow, this is amazing that you can make this, right? And I get that quite a bit when I do my card workshops at my office. Usually there's like about a dozen people that show up to it, and we sit there, we have like wine and whatnot and snacks, and like I just give them the supplies to make the cards. I don't even really give them a tutorial. Last time I did a shaker tutorial, which was fun, but normally I'll just give them, you know, 3 examples of something with different layouts, and then they take whatever pattern packages I've put together, and then they'll mix and match with one another. They'll color their images, they'll not color their images and still put them on the card. They'll put like a bunch of images, and they just like love doing it, and it's just like a creative outlet for them. And they appreciate that, you know, I've put all this hard work into the preparation, and just like giving them that opportunity to create, right? Like I was talking to my one coworker the other day, and she was not able to make it to the next one, but she had mentioned that like when she takes cards home to her fiance, that he's very amazed at like the work that she's done, and it makes her happy, right? So it's just like, it's a good experience. It makes people happy at the time that we're doing it, and it gives them more joy afterwards when they're giving those cards, because then their recipient can appreciate that they've put this card together for them. And maybe that doesn't look perfect, or it didn't work out the way they thought it would, but it's okay because they enjoyed the process. And that's what it should be. It should be something you can enjoy and something that brings you happiness. So that's what I advocate, and that's what we do during my workshops. Again, I do love doing them. They're a lot of fun, and you know, maybe one day I can do them for a wider group, but right now we just do them for my office peeps every couple of months or so. It's been lately. And back to the card, I was originally going to splatter this background with black ink or paint or something, and I forgot before I glued it on. So I'm just kind of adding, I guess, like what I would call controlled snow in the background, but in black. Off screen, I do add white dots as well, and then white highlights to the pumpkins, because the white sentiment just kind of popped out a little bit too much because there was no other white on the card, so you'll see that in the end photo. But yeah, that's pretty much our card for today, guys. Thanks again for joining me, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, comment down below, and let me know what your thoughts are. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please subscribe because I'd love to have you here. And until next time, thanks, bye.